fans will be back at Carrow Road this weekend for the first time since February for the visit of Preston. City's second game of the Championship season. Alex Neil returning to Norfolk. And 1,000 season ticket holders will be allowed in. I'm sure the players are going to be really pleased to have that little bit of support behind them. I know it's only sort of the first step in the right direction, a long way to go before we get full capacities again, but I know that senior staff at the club are really pleased to have managed to give this the green light, to have been able to press ahead with the EFL's permission for them to have this pilot event, one of only 2 championship events this weekend. So it'll be really interesting to see how things go and see how the atmosphere sounds. On the pitch though, I don't think we can expect too many changes from Daniel Farke. He generally sticks with a winning team. We are speaking ahead of the press conference on Friday for the latest team news, but of course there's been no midweek action. And the big issue, of course, going into this one is Emi Buendia's return from suspension. He is available again, of course, such a pivotal player during the title triumph of 2018-19. Will he come straight back into the team? Will Kieran Dowell or Onel Hernandez or Todd Cantwell have to make way for Buendia to come back in? And then, of course, there's the whole consideration about the transfer deadline still being open until mid-October. And will that have an impact on Norwich's selection for these next 3 league games? We shall see how things unfold. Of course, you've got Ben Gibson and Jordan Hugill, 2 big summer signings who both had to sit on the bench on Saturday, didn't get any game time. They're both going to be keen for their debut, particularly with those fans being back. So it will be interesting to see how Daniel plays this one. This is how Preston lined up for their 1-0 home defeat to Swansea in the league last weekend. Although they went to Derby on Tuesday night and Alex Neil made 9 changes for that game. They ended up winning 2-1. That was the League Cup's second round, but they only won thanks to an injury time penalty from Daniel Johnson, who'd just come off the bench. And he's a man who's created plenty of headlines recently. Strong interest from Rangers. In the last year of his contract, was player of the season at Preston last year. So it'll be interesting to see whether he does come into the team. Alex Neil has already done his press conference and said that he's got no fresh injury worries and hasn't had any updates on Johnson or Ben Davies, the centre-back, who Bournemouth supposedly had a £3 million bid rejected for recently. So their lineup will be interesting. It looks pretty likely that Declan Rudd will return in goal, though. Of course, the former Norwich goalkeeper, Norfolk boy, has played against Norwich a few times already. He saved a penalty when Preston beat Norwich 3-1 in 2018-19. Of course, he had a thigh injury which kept him out of most of pre-season. So that meant Connor Ripley had been in goal, the goalkeeper who had a bit of a nightmare against Norwich in the FA Cup in January. Rudd played in that win at Derby and has done pre-match press, so you would have thought that he'll be coming back into the league team. And Preston have become very well respected as a very solid championship side, haven't they? They finished 9th last season, only 4 points outside the playoffs, and statistically they don't really stand out in anything too much. They're just solid across the board. We know with Alex Neil that he will try and play attacking football, but possibly with just that little bit more pragmatism than you would get from Daniel Farke's approach with Norwich. Their away form last season was okay. They managed draws at Leeds and Cardiff, but the majority of their 6 away wins came against teams in the bottom half of the table. And their key man, well, you can't really look past Daniel Johnson, really. Central midfield, scored 12 goals and assisted 7 last year, so you can see why other clubs are interested in him. But you probably can't overlook Tom Barkhuizen at the moment. Scored a brilliant equaliser after coming off the bench at Derby in midweek. Neil actually used him as a striker in that opening defeat to Swansea. He scored 9 and assisted 5 last season, so he could well be a player to watch on Saturday as well.